Welcome back to the Cricket Today podcast on Monday, February 26th. We're covering a huge range of world cricket here. I'm your host, Liam McAllion, also known as the Stats Guy. Got Leo Mullaly over there, not as tired as us two boys, but how you going, Leo?
No, I'm feeling good. I'm operating on more sleep than you two combined, I think.
Yeah, so check out Football Today. We covered a bit of the Liverpool-Chelsea EFL Cup final. Marcus is a bit tired. He stayed up for that.
Yeah.
Chelsea fan, a bit gutted as well.
Very gutted. Only running off 3.5 hours. So
that's all right.
It's not great.
I reckon that's more sleep
great.
than Steve Smith gets before a test match when he's shadow batting every night with him and Marnus in the bedroom, I reckon. Today we're going to cover a huge wrap-up of the Australia versus New Zealand T20 series. The Aussies absolutely killed it over in New Zealand. That includes a nah about one of the star players. We're also going to break down another crazy India versus England test match where I think you two lads love getting into England about their tactics and how they're playing at the moment. Oh, I love it as well, but you guys are on another level, I think. I haven't got as much energy for England as you guys. Screw the there you go. So let's get right into it. Australia versus New Zealand first. The series wrap we're going to do. So there was 2 matches over the weekend. Game 2 and Game 3 were both at Eden Park. Usually we expect runs galore. I think Leo predicted 480 plus. Did we even had 480 plus across the 2 matches? So, Leo, do you want to give us some scores? Because it was actually really interesting and the pitch wasn't too easy to bat on.
Yeah, Australia, they batted first, 174. They sort of got off to a flyer. Head was awesome at the top, 45 of 22. Lockie Ferguson, a bit underrated this series. 4 for 12 in this game.
Awesome.
Really quick, and I think it's that pace that really gets the Aussie batsmen. The New Zealand, they were just no chance from the get-go with their innings. No one could get going. The quicks did the job up front, and then Zampa sort of reaped the rewards a little bit throughout the middle overs. So convincing win for the Aussies in that game.
Yeah,
I was a little bit surprised about how New Zealand sort of played in that match. I was expecting them to play pretty well at Eden Park, but the Aussies getting it done on a small ground. I just think that we've got more power hitters than New Zealand to sort of clear the rope, especially on that tiny ground.
Yeah.
With the likes of Head, March, etc.
Well, it was a bit of a weird one. It happened in both games at Eden Park over the weekend where guys are trying to belt the crap out of it to go for 6. It's the smallest ground in the world. If you just play normal cricket shots, I think Marsh, when he came in, he almost got out. He got dropped. That's another thing we could talk about. New Zealand's fielding cost them a few games in this series. I think they were horrible in the field, whereas the Aussies are always very good in the field.
Yeah.
But every guy coming in for both teams was trying to smash it. You can just hit normal cricket shots. If you're past the infield, there's no 2s and 3s.
Yeah.
There's only 1s or 4s or 6s pretty much at that ground, and they're trying to smack it. It was just really dumb cricket by both teams, I reckon.
I just feel with Lockie Ferguson as well, you don't need to try and smash the crap out of him. All you need to do is get a little bit,
because he's got a bit of pace.
On the bat and just use the pace, especially behind square where you can sort of use that carry.
Yep.
But nevertheless, Australia's score was probably under par in that game too, but bowled really well.
Usually the pitch is a bit maybe flatter. It was very bouncy as well.
Yeah.
I had a look as well. New Zealand, after this series at Eden Park in 2020 is 11 and 17 there. Which is surprising when they play a lot of cricket there.
Yeah.
They know how to play, but they just didn't play smart at all with the way they were batting. They were trying to go way too hard, and I think that was a bit weird. Also, another one, I'll ask you this one, Leo. Zampa, I reckon he was a bit stiff, or Ferguson not to get man of the match. I think Cummins got man of the match with 28 and a wicket. I don't know if that's a man of the match performance, but he was pretty handy to get the Aussies to a decent score, maybe.
It's not a man of the match performance, but I think in context, like he came in when wickets were falling, so it did get the total up a little bit where it could have gone.
But we won by 72 in the end. It didn't even.
We won by 72, but then the damage was done with the new ball. I feel like Zampa got wickets because the pressure was already built.
True.
So if I was going to give a man of the match, it honestly probably would have been Ferguson.
Yep.
Yeah.
4 for 12
I think Zampa kind of rode the back of our fast bowlers.
Yeah,
that's what he does though. That's his role, sort of Zampa. But I agree with you. I think Ferguson probably should have been awarded man of the match.
Yeah, I think in all sports, there's an argument that you don't have to win the match to be man of the match, I think.
Yeah.
Although the person that's getting the reward or the
more
medal.
Than likely, that's the case.
But it happens sometimes. It happens in the AFL and Hurd and a few others that weren't too happy and things like that. But I think Ferguson was awesome. And that was a bit of a weird one when we predicted a lot of runs, but the pitch was, And then the pitch was the same in game 3, if you want to go through that scores in that one, Leo. That was yesterday at 11 a.m. Aussie time. It sort of snuck up on us a but
I was going along with my Sunday and I checked Instagram at about 3 p.m. and the game's finished. I didn't know what was happening. So 4 for 118 of 10.4 overs. The Aussies batted first.
Rain affected,
Rain affected. A lot of starts. Maxwell 20 off 9. Short 27 off 11. which
Solid,
was really
yeah.
good to see. I think Head also chipped in with 33.
Yep.
And then, New Zealand, they batted well. Like 3 for 98 off 10 is a good score.
Definitely.
It's just DLS made it very hard for them to catch up.
Yeah.
Especially with someone like Short, who was pretty powerful in his innings. It's pretty hard to replicate.
Yeah, even Phillips was really solid, 40 off 24. He's actually had a pretty good series.
He's a good player.
He's a very good player. Yeah, he even had to keep in the. I didn't talk about that in game 2. Oh no, sorry. Who ended up coming in because Conway broke his finger. It wasn't Phillips. Anyway, that's another.
What do you
yeah, maybe.
What do you think about with Conway breaking his finger in the first innings? Do you think that New Zealand should be afforded like a 12th, 13th man to come in to bat?
No.
I think it's too much of an advantage in
It's just-
22. Oh,
When's like the cut? Like if someone injures themselves in the last over,
Yeah.
like can you bring in?
Obviously, I think it depends on the severity of the injury, but
Yeah.
he did go to hospital and get
suck it up.
scans.
No. It was pretty
That's
bad.
guy,
Yeah.
He's just firing shots every show. Like,
no,
you retired Tim Southey last show. Now you're telling Devon
Kiwi.
Conway to suck it up.
No, I actually really like Conway and Phillips. So it was sad that he hurt his finger. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one because in tests, obviously, you can change your player.
Yeah.
But I don't think they don't have a rule like that in 2020s or one day. I don't believe.
How funny was it when Glenn Phillips was batting and he had the mic speaking to the commentators? He's like, "Hey guys, can you just shut up for a second on my face and not talk?"
The Kiwi commentators, they were just talking to him the whole time. They were so biased as well. Oh my God, I was watching a couple of games on the weekend. If we just watch the Aussie commentators in isolation.
Also, Brendan Julian was very biased and very
In Aussies,
rubbing salt in the wounds.
Yeah, when we won the other
the
night.
Kiwis,
yeah,
yeah.
true. But pretty disappointing game when you rained out, half the games rained out.
Yeah.
Lots of families were down there at Eden Park. But the Aussies got the job done to sweep the series 3-0. I think a few of us, I think I predicted 2-1 because I thought that the Kiwis would
I think
get
I got bullied into.
You were the you got bullied into it, and you were.
Oh yeah, you got 3-0. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we picked 2-1. But the Aussies really good form heading into the T20 World Cup. I think that's our last white ball match, like competitive match before the T20 World Cup because there's IPL and things like that, which is very prioritising
We've got the
cricket
test
now.
series coming up.
Test series and things like that. So yeah, we'll be very excited for the test series. So we've swept them in that. It'll be interesting to see how they go in the test series starting Thursday morning Australian time. All right, bit of a yeah, nah, boys, for this one for the Aussies versus New Zealand. Should Steve Smith be included in the T20 World Cup squad? Disappointing as opener. Surprised that he came in as opener for David Warner in that T20 series on the weekend. What do you guys reckon about that?
I think yes.
Oh,
Because squad.
Squad, yeah. That's
Yeah.
so.
Yes.
A starting 11 is a different.
No,
Yeah,
not
it's
starting 11, but I think if someone was to get injured, like, Head, Warner, Marsh, like God forbid, obviously, but if
Good for
that,
depth.
if that happened, there's probably no one I'd want more than Steve Smith coming in. Like
Yep.
he's a proven performer. Everyone's doubting him, but like he's performed at T20 level. He's done it in the Big Bash, done it
Yep.
for the Aussies. Like
Yep.
he has done it. So it does give you a bit of a surety, I think, if something does go wrong in the squad in terms of injury. So yeah, I definitely have him in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Leo spot on there. You have him in the squad, but he doesn't play.
Yep.
I think you just got to have him in the squad just for not only the experience, the winning culture, but he knows so much about cricket. He's a leader. It can be that. Well, how many can you bring in the squad for the World Cup? Is it 18?
I feel like
Fif-
it's 15.
I think it's 15.
and
Yeah,
14.
yeah. And but then if someone gets injured or something, I'm sure you
There'll
could top
be
it up or
someone.
something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so-
yeah, I think he'll be in the 15 as well. Yeah.
I think he can be that sort of 12th man on the boundary rope sort of coach.
Yep.
I
Good
think,
at making the
I think he
coils.
still play a real pivotal role.
Yep.
Very much how like in a soccer tournament, sometimes you just bring for
People off the
England.
bench. Yep.
England, for example, brought Connor Cody to the World Cup. Knew he was like probably wasn't going to play a single minute, but he's just there for vibes and nous, and
Yep.
that's what
My
Steve Smith
only
can
problem
provide.
is, would he get too annoying?
He's nowhere near as annoying as Marnus. Like that's just,
Oh, yeah.
no one's gonna argue. Oh, you don't reckon? But
They're-
in the hotel room, I've heard he's very annoying because people wake up, he's shadow batting. You can hear his bat tapping on the ground in the middle of the night, and he's probably if he makes I don't know. He could. I think Steve Smith isn't too annoying, but Marnus would be very annoying.
You can't really call Steve Smith out though. He's been around the camp
Yeah, exactly,
for that long,
yeah.
and he's one of the best batsmen
Yeah,
Australia's
seems
ever
like a
seen.
good
Marnus, on the other hand, we
Marnus.
can call out.
Yeah, we can call
Yeah.
out. He's just
Yeah.
he's a bit of a lunatic.
Toasty
but yeah.
method's a bit of a
Yeah, Toast. He puts toasties in his pocket. Well, he's a very
puts him in the freezer straight
Puts him in
after.
the that's right, the
freezer.
fridge. Yeah. That's
Oh.
very weird. That could
Enough
be another,
about that.
That could be another. Yeah, nah. Should you put toasties in the fridge? I think that's just the easy.
You might
thing.
as well just have like you're waiting for just the meat to go cold. You might as well just make yourself a sandwich instead
Exactly. But I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that. I remember there was a big part of that doco just about that. So we'll talk about that another time. All right. That's ours. Yeah. Well, I think we all agree on that one that, he should be included in the T20 squad.
Yeah.
But it'd be pretty hard to fit him in the 11 at the moment unless of injuries and things like that.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into India versus England. You guys have been raring to talk about this all morning. Do you want to go quickly through the scores, Leo, and we'll have a chat about what it's up to. It's up to day 4 is today, our time. What's going on with that?
So England 353. They went away from Bazball, I feel.
They did, yeah.
You were talking about it before the show, stats guy. Joe Root just makes a century when he's not going all guns blazing.
Was he listening to our podcast? We were saying he just needs to sort of go back to his roots. I didn't even say that on purpose. That's so weird. And he's made 122 of 274. He's obviously gone way away from Bazball, and he's finally made that 100 that he hasn't made in a long time. Maybe Bazball's done, at least for a few of the players. Maybe
I think Root just realised that he needed to bat his way and not.
Why didn't he realise that the last 2 tests?
Similarly, was it who was it? There was another English player that I don't think it was Ben Duckett. It might have been Folkes, maybe, that sort of went a little bit slow as well.
Yeah, it was Folkes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, which is unlike him as well because he's a very attacking player.
Duckett's never going to go slow. He plays at everything.
Which is what people have been saying in our comment sections on social media.
They have actually, yeah.
Is that you can have these Bazball types of players, like for example Zach Crawley opening the batting, other players Duckett, that, but for fairly traditional batsmen who have a great record like Joe Root, you can still have 1 or 2 of those in the squad, so you don't lose 6 for 30, which is what they ended up doing in the second innings. But I don't know. I'm really stuck because I think you can't really play Bazball on that pitch, on that Indian pitch when it's rolling at your feet and then
it was a tough pitch to bat on. Which
the next minute is like it's going up to your knee rolls. It's very hard to tell.
Yep.
But geez, they really screwed that up, didn't they?
They did. Yeah. If you want to go through the rest of the score, sorry we interrupted that one, Leo. But Root did really well. Jadeja did really well in that first inning. He's got a 4-fer.
Yeah.
Then India, what happened next after that?
Yeah, India, they were, 7 for 200 odd? They were in a bit of trouble. And then Jarrell, not the hand sanitizer brand.
Oh,
the Indian keeper, he made 90 off 149, batted really well. Bashir, how many overs did he bowl, stats guy?
44.
44 overs, 5 for 119. If you're bowling that many overs, I'd hope you take a 5-fer.
I agree. Sometimes 519, the 119 that looks bad, but he was going at...
No, 119 is good for 44 overs.
Very good,
You'd want the return in the wickets.
Yeah, you would. And he did really well, to be fair. Like I know 519 on the outside, you go, he might have got hit for a bit, but he was still going really...
I think his economy was under 3. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been,
Which is great, yeah.
And then, England all out for 145.
Oh, no.
This is the innings of just do one of these ones because that's all they do when they go out. So they just shake their head. They're not out. It only happens to them. They're the victims.
What
doesn't happen to anyone else. It's only England this happens to. No other team has gone to India and had to suffer these conditions. England.
This is what I was very excited to come in today. You guys are fired up. Marcus is fired up as well. Only 145. That's horrible effort after they made 300. Was watching it. They lost 3 quick wickets to some pretty average balls, but you got to be wary of that when playing in England. Everyone has that, as Leo said. Yeah.
No, England are a joke. And how about Ollie Flogginson as well with the bleached hairdo? Oh my God.
True. He backed it up today. Yesterday. He made 50, which surprised me.
In the first inning.
But
then he got out for a duck in the second. When his team really needed him and they actually had a chance to level the series at 2-2.
I still think there's a bit of a chance here, Marcus.
No, it's done.
It's done. So just for context, India are number 40, so good start on a tough pitch. They need 152 runs to win. So you guys are a bit split over there. Who's going to win? Surely India.
Yeah, India should win, but it's on. I think
India will win this with 3 or 4 wickets down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll win this.
That's the most likely.
That's the most likely.
I'm saying it's not 100% done.
Bashir might come in and get another quick 5-fer. I don't know.
Off his 44 overs.
I don't think he's going to be able to bowl 44 overs if they only need 152. I think we're all leaning towards an India win, but I don't think it's over. The pitch is not too very hard to bat on, but surely, But you think they got no chance?
Yeah, England only had themselves to blame.
Yeah,
don't comprehend where you're in such a strong position. Yeah, I know they were very stiff with a couple of the wickets that they lost, but when you're in that strong of a position on that pitch with a handy, they had a very handy first innings lead, what looked like it, but then the tail sort of wagged a little bit.
Yep.
To have that advantage in India and to make the series go 2-2 and then stuff it up and just throw it away and then lose the game with half a day's play the next day, it's a bit of a joke for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't mind that. I know they, especially, the way they played early, you got Joe Root was going really well and things like that. They'll be filthy that they only have 150 runs to back up on this day 4. So that it's going to be over on day 4. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow morning our time, which will be really, really cool. So you got your England rants out. We love that. We've talked a bit about India.
One more. When your sole paceman in the England squad is Ollie Robinson, there's something wrong with your cricketing culture and academy. Who's 49.
1,000.
He walks out on a stroller. He might as well just be bowling off spin. I reckon he'll be bowling off spin next year.
Robinson. Robinson.
I'm talking about Jimmy Anderson. He won't be able to come off his bowling mark anymore.
Yeah, maybe just a quick. Those old guys in local cricket. I think you talked about it. Just off a couple of steps.
Does Jimmy Anderson come to Australia in the Ashes next year?
Yeah, probably. I think we've said for like 5 years that he surely doesn't come to the next one, and he's.
I'm gonna say no.
You're going to say no, you're going to say yes?
Yeah, well, he just does it every time, doesn't he? He just keeps coming back. Yeah. If England, if they had a brain, they would bring the quickest players to Australia. They would bring Joffre if he's fit, obviously. Mark Wood and play both of them because that's their best chance of beating us.
Australia
to bounce us
especially in Australian pitch conditions, particularly in Perth.
If they had a brain, Ollie Robinson would stay the hell away and not play because he's no good.
He did get smashed over.
I actually want him to come and play every single game this Ashes and just get absolutely staunched by the crowd. I want Bay 13 to give him a living hell.
We'll have to get a live, maybe throw bottles at him. Puts the GoPro on his head. Francis Bourgeois. Put the GoPro on Marcus' head.
He's not spotting trains, stats guy. He's putting it fine.
No, I'm saying on Marcus in Bay 13.
This is going to be our content. We're going to wear a GoPro. Day 1, Bay 13, Boxing Day test. And we're just going to
skull beers and yell at Ollie Robinson.
Or we'd have to
probably get
escape security.
We're pretty quick. All right,
this has gone off track.
This has gone off track, but we absolutely love doing that. I'm going to call it here, lads. That's end game. That's it. Stumps. That's a great point. Stumps. That's it for the Cricket Today show. We'll be back with this on Wednesday. We're very excited for the Australia versus New Zealand Test series that starts then. Starts on Thursday morning, but we're going to do a quick preview for that on Wednesday. That includes Daniel Cherney from Code Sports, who's been really good on this show. So get right around the show. Thanks to all the subscribers. Keep commenting on YouTube and all the socials and check out our podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, we're there. Send in any questions, and I think that's it, lads. Thank you, Marcus.
Cheers, Stats Guy.
Thanks for staying awake. Thank you, Leo.
Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thanks to all the England rants that we had. Thanks to me. Thanks to Joe behind the camera. And that's another episode of Cricket Today done. We're out.